All right, this week we're going to have some fun. We're going to go to NBA.com and we're going to go through and pull some data from here. We're going to be doing 5 different teams is what I want you to do, and you can pick any 5 that you want. As far as it goes down here, I'm going to start with the Celtics here just for fun because it's the first one. When you take a look at the data here, notice you've got a roster, you've got a player, so you've got a few different things here. So if you think about the content that's in here, so when you look at this, you need to look at this from a database designer standpoint. So roster obviously is going to be probably the table name for this. And in fact, you probably would be even more specific and call this Celtics roster. And then inside that table, you've got the different identifying things. So player, number, position, height, weight, etc. And all these are specific kind of categories. So when you go to set this up in Access, and you start off a blank database, you got to think about these kinds of things. So here's our table 1. Our table 1 definitely is going to be our Celtics roster. So if you think about, okay, well this is going to be our Celtic roster, so let me scroll down a little bit so you can see both at the same time. So when you go and start designing this, you think about what's going to go here. So for this, whole top line here where this gray area is, this is where you're going to want to have all of your information show up. And the first one here is player name. So that's just going to be text. And this field 1 here, we're going to call name, just like in the sample. And now the next one, it's going to be the number. So we just want a basic number here. And where it says field 1, they've got the pound sign there for number. So we'll put that in. And then for our next category, it's going to be a position. So this is going to be short text again. And I'm just going to go ahead and type it out so it's a little easier to understand. And then after that, we're going to go with height. So that's going to be another number. And then we got weight. That's going to be another number. They're doing it in pounds. I would imagine if you're doing this someplace else, they would be doing it a different way. This one has birth date, so this one gets kind of weird. So here we've got date and time extended. How do we want to do this? So I probably would just go number with this one. Probably is the simplest thing, because if you put date and time on here, that's going to complicate things, and unless you know their exact, I guess you do know their exact date, but you don't want to have to put that in. So let's just leave this a number and keep that nice and easy. And this K, we're just going to call this B day, just to move this along a little faster. And then we've got age. And then experience. Oh, it jumped all the way over. Why did it jump all the way over? Well, I kind of clicked too far off it. That's what happened. So when you go back to this, let's go back to short text again. This should be experience. And then our last category, keeps jumping over, is school. And that's going to be short text. All right, so we have all these categories pretty much set up here, so we should be good to go to start filling things in. So your first player number, or as it goes thin here, is going to be Jason Tatum. And then put in his player number. In this case, he's 0. And his position is F-G, so he's a forward and a guard. His height, 6-8. And it doesn't like that particular category, so 6 minus 8, so it gets kind of weird. So what you may want to do is take its advice here and convert the data to text data type, so that way it doesn't get confused there. You could do it in inches, like you could do the actual calculation and do that, so it could sort, but that might complicate things a bit more. So we'll do 210, and then we'll put in the birthday, and that's what, 3-3-1998. See if it complains about that. Yep, it's going to want that data type changed. And then age, 22, 2 years experience, and he went to Duke. And then we're ready for another player. So as you go through this, when you go up to save this information, table name, this is going to be, who did I do? This is the Celtics, right? Yep, Celtics roster. And I'm not even going to say that, I'm just going to say Celtics is what I'm going to say. And there's our first table. So what you're going to have when you're done with this is you're going to have at least 5 different tables over here, and then we're going to do some search and some sorting of those tables.